Let me see where I'm at. Okay. Once again. Jesus Christ. Once again, things were not reported on a federal level like they should have been. And this lunatic in Tennessee, had access to guns because of it. Now, I'm an NRA member. I love my guns. I've never been mentally incompetent to not have guns. I'm a law-abiding citizen. I did get looked at by the FBI back in 2015 because somebody reported me for some stupid Facebook post. But I'm saying I never did any real crazy shit, anything like that. And back in October, somebody was taking my name and picture and making fake accounts on Facebook and was sending out inflammatory messages to people. And I got a call by a police department up in the Detroit area about it. So other than that, I really haven't had too many run-ins with the law. I'm pretty much a law-abiding citizen. But if you're a conservative in this day and age, and you shoot your mouth off on social media, chances are you probably will get a visit by law enforcement. It's happened to me a few times. Nothing real big, but I made a post one time in 2015 about something about Islamic extremists, because there was a local school in the area of Michigan teaching Islamic shit, and it resulted in the sheriff's department getting knocked on my door. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? You get the Raging Rob here. I'm back in Phoenix. Why I'm making this video? Travis Renkin, this nut from Tennessee, I found out a lot of more shit about him. Find out this guy had a misdemeanor charge for jumping the White House fence or whatever the hell it was a few months ago because he wanted to speak to Trump. This guy's a mental case. Because of that, in the state of Illinois, he's an Illinois resident. In the state of Illinois, you need a FOID. They call it a FOID. F-O-I-D card to purchase a gun or whatever, to have a gun. So because he jumped the White House gate, he had to sign over his guns. In the state of Illinois, if you get your FOID card revoked, you have to sign over the guns to somebody that does have a FOID card. If you don't do it voluntarily, they can and will, the authorities in Illinois will take your guns. That's Illinois state law. What should be the law is that if you have your FOID card revoked, then they should take your guns and not just give it to a family member that has a FOID card. That law needs to be changed. That little flaw in the law, well, what happened was this Travis Renkin, this nut, he willingly signed over his FOID. He had his FOID card revoked. State of Illinois FOID card, FOID card to, like I explained, to have firearms. He had it revoked, and he signed it over to his dad, who had a FOID card. Well, there's the fucking flaw, because his dad illegally gave him back the firearms. There's the fucking flaw right there. Whenever one of these mass shootings happens, I got like two questions that are like the first things that I ask. Number one, what was the motive? Number two, how did he get access to the gun? Those are the two things that I want to know every time after a mass shooting. I think they're the most two logical things to know. How did he get access to the gun? And number two, what was the motive? We don't know what the motive was. Well, we know how he got access to the guns, because his fucking father, who broke the law. So there you have it, people. Now stop blaming the fucking guns. That father should be charged. You're damn right. He broke the law. Because of him, 4 people are dead. So I found out some more things about this Travis Renkin nut. I'm going to tell you some shit. Just what I read. Whether there's any truth to it, I don't know. So the story of him exposing his genitalia before the shooting, I can't confirm if that's true or not. However, they said after the shooting he took his shirt off and ran into the woods. They found him because he was hiding in the woods after 160 officers searched the area. They did a door-to-door, knock door-to-door in apartments trying to find him. After a 34-hour search, they ended up finding him. This guy, a few months ago, was it last year or whatever, was looked at. He's been under FBI and Secret Service surveillance for some time for just the way he's acting and threats towards the president. There was one incident last year where he said he wanted to meet Taylor Swift. Don't ask. I'm just telling you the way I read it. He wanted to meet Taylor Swift because he believed Taylor Swift, the music star Taylor Swift, was stalking his family. So he wanted to meet Taylor Swift, and he thought that he was going to have a meeting with Taylor Swift on the roof of a local Dairy Queen restaurant, ice cream shop, whatever. Don't ask. I don't know. I don't know either. I'm just telling you the way I read it. Also last year, he was kicked out of a local pool, not pool as in, shooting pool with the balls, on pool as in, like a water park. Well, anyway, he was kicked out of a local pool area or park or whatever for wearing a pink robe and exposing his genitals. Yeah, people like this should not have access to guns. And if that means that I'm infringing on the Second Amendment, then so be it. I'm all about the Second Amendment and the NRA. I love my guns. I hate to say this. I don't want to say this because this is going to make me sound like a liberal. But when you have nuts like this, we need some regulation. I'm not saying we need background checks and everything. I'm not saying we need to do this and do that and confiscate this and, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. When you go to buy a car, when you go to get a driver's license, obviously you can't get a driver's license if you go out and drive drunk, you lose a license, right? Me, I'm an 18-wheeler driver. I have a CDL. Obviously, if I get too many speeding tickets or I drive reckless, whatever, obviously, or whatever, if I have a medical condition, I can lose my CDL. It's common sense, right? That's the way it should be. I'm sorry, but if you're a nut like this, then you don't deserve to have a gun. That's it. And if that makes me anti-gun or makes me anti-Second Amendment, fuck you. I don't care. I'm about as pro-Second Amendment as you can get. I've always have been. People like this should not have access to firearms. Period. And you can call me a liberal, you can call me whatever you want. I don't care. I'm not liberal. I am who I am. This nut was also identified as a, how do they say it? a Sorvian citizen, or however you pronounce that word. Sorvian citizens don't believe that they should abide by government regulations or any federal regulations. I know, I was friends with a couple of Sorvian citizens on Facebook. There was one person, I'm not going to say her name, she was pulled over for not having she was pulled over, she didn't have a license plate on her vehicle. When they pulled her over, she didn't have insurance, she didn't have a driver's license. So they hauled her ass to jail. She identified herself as a Soviet citizen. She didn't think that she had to have insurance, driver's license, license plate, all that shit. And I asked her, I simply asked her, all I heard was, because she was a friend of mine on Facebook for some time. Not anymore, but I asked her, and all I heard was that she got arrested and taken to jail. So I asked her, well, why were you taken to jail? Why? It was actually her boyfriend who was on her profile, good friend of mine. And I asked him simply, why was your girlfriend arrested? And he didn't get it. He didn't get into it. Well, the government, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, okay, what did she do? That's my first question. Well, the government sucks and blah, 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 blah. I'm like, I couldn't get a straight answer out of him. And I later found out what happened. She was a sovereign citizen. I'm not a sovereign citizen. I mean, there's things I don't believe in. But if some cocksucker rams me in traffic, that asshole better have insurance. Or I'm going to stop a fucking mud hole up his damn ass. That's like you never fucking seen before. It's crazy. If you don't have auto insurance, you're allowed to buy a vehicle. We need to put that to an end. I'm not about regulating guns. I'm really not. But assholes, when shit like this happens, it's making it bad on people like me. When you got fathers that don't give a shit what their kids do. Well, my son has problems. My son has mental problems. He had his FOID card revoked. I think I'm going to give his guns back to him because he's my son. I'm sorry, but if my kid gets his FOID card revoked and I have his guns, I'm going to make damn sure that he doesn't get access to the guns. It seems like every time that one of these mass shootings happen, it's some nut, and we find out that there's some flaw, and that's why it happened, and that's why they had the guns to, do what they did. I'm sorry, but the law-abiding citizen gun owners are committing mass shootings. Prove me if I'm wrong. Put a link in the comment section below. Prove me if I'm wrong. And I might be wrong. So I just want to put this video out there, some more details about this nut. That's the kind of people that we're dealing with in society now. Meeting Taylor Swift in this imaginary world on top of a Dairy Queen roof, don't ask. Exposing his genitals at a local pool. Jumping the fence because he wants to talk to Donald Trump. Because he believes he's a sovereign citizen. Oh, I don't know what the hell kind of world we're living in anymore. What day? What time? 14 minutes? Okay. Oh, fuck. I'm back in Phoenix for the time being. Just got to deliver this damn load across the street. So anyway, that's the kind of shit we're dealing with now, so. Oh, boy. Oh, it's over 15 minutes. Oh, shit. I guess I gotta put this video on another channel. Yep, so these sovereign citizens, they need to be looked at. There's a video floating around YouTube. It's got like a few million views on it, where the sovereign citizen was questioning this. This happened in Idaho. This sovereign citizen was questioning this lawyer or something, and he tried to get into the courtroom with the camera, and the one security guard's like, nope. And the security guard, he was cool as shit. Big, tall motherfucker, but he was cool as shit. I mean, he just stood there calmly saying, you can't bring your phone inside the courtroom. Leave the phone with your mom and you could come inside the courtroom. And this sovereign citizen was just a jackass. He just kept going off on the security guard. And this security guard was just standing there, calm as possible, like, I don't know, sovereign citizen said something like, you're not God. And the security guard says to him, God's not worried about the camera, I am. These are the rules. While the sovereign citizen kept fighting with him. So the security guard, he whipped out his taser. He's like, step back. And he just tased his ass and he fell to the floor. Look up on YouTube, I don't know, sovereign citizen lawyer courtroom. I don't know what the fuck. It's out there. It's a video floating around. It happened in Idaho 4 or 5 years ago. And he just went to the ground like a pussy after he got tased. It was a fucking cool, awesome video. I think I'm gonna try to find that video. I'm gonna put it in the link below. In the description below. So, anyway, that's the video. I didn't mean to make it this long.